Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to another episode of our Health and Wellness podcast. Today, we're going to delve into a topic that's been on everyone's lips lately: processed foods. We'll discuss their impact on our health and suggest some healthier alternatives. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's get started. Processed foods. We've all heard the term, but what does it really mean? In the simplest terms, processed foods are foods that have been altered in some way from their natural state. This could be through canning, freezing, refrigeration, dehydration, or aseptic processing. Some processed foods can be beneficial to our health, like canned tomatoes or frozen fruits and vegetables, which can help preserve nutrients. However, the majority of processed foods available in the market today are high in unhealthy fats, sugars, and sodium, which can lead to a variety of health issues. Now let's talk about the impact of these foods on our health. The first thing that comes to mind is obesity. The high sugar and fat content in many processed foods can lead to weight gain and obesity. Obesity, in turn, increases the risk of other health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and certain types of cancer. Processed foods are also often high in sodium, which can lead to high blood pressure and heart disease. In fact, according to the American Heart Association, more than 75% of the sodium we consume comes from processed and restaurant foods, not from the salt shaker. Another concern with processed foods is the presence of trans fats. These are a type of fat that can raise your bad LDL cholesterol levels and lower your good HDL cholesterol levels. Eating trans fats increases your risk of developing heart disease and stroke and is also associated with a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Processed foods can also have a negative impact on our gut health. They often lack fiber and probiotics, which are essential for a healthy gut. A diet high in processed foods can lead to an imbalance in our gut bacteria, which can cause digestive issues, inflammation, and even affect our mental health. Now that we've discussed the impact of processed foods on our health, let's talk about some healthier alternatives. The first step is to incorporate more whole foods into your diet. Whole foods are foods that have not been processed or refined and are free from additives and other artificial substances. They include fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and lean proteins. Instead of reaching for a bag of chips or a candy bar for a snack, try having a piece of fruit or a handful of nuts. Instead of a frozen pizza for dinner, try making a homemade pizza with whole grain crust and fresh toppings. Instead of a sugary breakfast cereal, try having a bowl of oatmeal topped with fresh berries and a drizzle of honey. Another alternative is to choose minimally processed foods. These are foods that have been processed to some extent, but still retain most of their nutritional value. Examples include canned or frozen fruits and vegetables, whole grain bread, and unflavored yogurt. Cooking at home is another great way to reduce your intake of processed foods. When you cook at home, you have control over what goes into your food. You can choose fresh, whole ingredients and avoid added sugars, unhealthy fats, and sodium. Finally, when you do buy processed foods, make sure to read the labels. Look for foods that are low in sugar, sodium, and unhealthy fats, and high in fiber and other nutrients. Avoid foods with a long list of ingredients, especially ones that are hard to pronounce. In conclusion, while processed foods may be convenient, they can have a negative impact on our health. By incorporating more whole foods into our diet, choosing minimally processed foods, cooking at home, and reading food labels, we can make healthier choices and improve our overall health. That's all for today's episode. I hope you found this discussion enlightening and that it inspires you to make healthier food choices. Remember, your health is your wealth. Until next time, stay healthy and happy.